Welcome back. It's late, and we're just settling in for another conversation. I'm glad you're here with us. Tonight, I'm sitting across from Elena. It's been a while since we caught up like this.
It has. Thanks for having me, Mark. It feels good to just sit for a moment.
That's actually a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about tonight. I've been carrying this thought around all week. The idea of rest. Specifically, why taking a break, even a small one, feels like a financial risk.
Yeah, that hits hard immediately. A financial risk. Not just a loss of time, but actual money slipping away.
Exactly. It's like there's a ticker tape in the back of my mind. Every hour I'm not producing something, I feel like I'm losing ground. And not just conceptually. It feels like I'm actively paying for the privilege of doing nothing.
I think that's the freelance mindset creeping into everything, isn't it? Even if you have a salary, the culture tells us we could always be doing a side hustle. We could always be optimizing. So if you're sitting on the couch, you're not just sitting, you're neglecting an opportunity.
Right, the opportunity cost. That term haunts me. It's absurd, really. I found myself feeling guilty yesterday just for reading a book in the afternoon. I kept thinking I should be researching.
It's the guilt that makes it feel risky, because if you're not working, you're vulnerable. We've tied safety to output. If I stop outputting, am I safe?
That's deep. Safety tied to output. So rest feels dangerous because it mimics, unemployment?
Maybe, or just irrelevance. If you step away for a day, the world moves on. The algorithm forgets you. The clients find someone faster. So rest feels like you're voluntarily stepping out of the line, and you might lose your spot.
I want to push back on that slightly, though. Just a little, because I feel like we often tell ourselves that story, that the world will move on without us. But is it actually true, or is that just ego? I mean, taking a weekend off, surely that doesn't actually destroy our financial standing.
I don't know, Mark. I think you're minimizing how precarious things feel for a lot of people right now. It's not just ego, it's the gig economy reality. If you aren't available, someone else is. That's not a story we tell ourselves, that's the structure of the market.
I see what you mean. You're saying the pressure isn't internal, it's systemic, it's real competition.
Exactly. It's not just in our heads. If I don't answer that email on a Saturday and you do, you get the contract. So my rest literally cost me that income. It's a direct correlation.
You're right. I was trying to make it psychological, trying to say it's all in our heads to make it feel manageable. But you're right, the math is real. If you're not there, you miss the shot.
It's uncomfortable to admit because we want to believe rest is a right, but in practice, it feels like a luxury purchase.
A luxury purchase? That's a terrifying way to put it, like buying a vacation, but the vacation is just sitting in your own living room for an hour.
Expensive sitting, that's what it is.
It makes me wonder about the quality of that rest then. If you're sitting there calculating the cost the whole time, are you actually resting?
No, you're just waiting. You're stressing in a stationary position.
And that's the worst of both worlds. You're not making money and you're not recovering. You're just vibrating with anxiety.
Yeah, that's the burnout loop. You're too tired to work, but too anxious to rest, so you just exist in this gray zone.
I think that's where a lot of us live now, the gray zone. But surely there's a way to reframe it. I've heard people say rest is an investment, rest so you can work harder.
I hate that.
You hate it? Why? It sounds logical.
Because it still makes work the point. It's still capitalizing on your downtime. Rest so you can be more productive. It's treating a human being like a battery or a machine. You only charge it so it can run the software again.
I hadn't thought of it that way. I always use that as a comfort, like, it's okay to stop, Mark, because you'll be better tomorrow.
But isn't that sad? That you need a productivity excuse just to exist? Why can't you just rest because you're a person? Why does it have to have an ROI?
Yeah, you got me there. I was trying to justify the rest by promising future labor. That is kind of bleak.
It is, but we all do it. I do it too. I'll take a nap so I can crush it later. It's hard to unlearn.
It really is. It's like we've forgotten how to just be. If there's no output, there's no value. That brings us back to identity, doesn't it?
Big time. If I'm not the person who is crushing it, who am I?
That's the question. And maybe that's the real financial risk we're scared of. Not just losing money, but losing the currency of status or worth.
Worth. Definitely worth. If I'm not earning, I'm not worthy. That's the equation we're fighting.
We should sit with that for a second. If you're listening, maybe ask yourself that. When you stop, do you feel like you lose value?
It's a heavy question for a late night.
It is, but that's why we're here.
It's interesting you mentioned that equation. Earning equals worthy. It makes me think about how we judge other people, not just ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. We are terrible at that.
We are. If I ask someone, "What did you do today?" and they say, "Nothing much, just sat outside," my immediate internal reaction is judgment. I wonder if they're okay. I wonder if they're struggling.
Right, because doing nothing sounds like failure. If you were successful, you'd be busy, you'd be rushing somewhere.
The busy badge of honor. We wear it to show we aren't a financial risk to ourselves or our families. Look at me. I'm stressed. Therefore, I'm safe.
That's a powerful link. Stress equals safety. It's completely backwards biologically, but economically it feels true. If I'm stressed, it means I have work. If I have work, I have money.
But I do know people who don't subscribe to that. I have a friend who takes these long, unstructured breaks. He doesn't seem to feel that financial terror we're talking about. He just stops.
Is he wealthy?
I mean, he does okay. I wouldn't say he's a millionaire, but he's stable.
See, I think that's the key variable we ignore when we talk about mindset. It's easy to say rest shouldn't feel risky when you have 6 months of savings in the bank.
I think that's a bit cynical, isn't it? I want to believe it's a mental discipline, that even if things are tight, we can choose to disconnect without panicking.
I disagree, Mark. I think that's actually a dangerous narrative. It puts the blame on the individual again.
How so?
If you're living paycheck to paycheck, rest is a financial risk. It's not a feeling, it's a fact. If you take 3 days off, you might not make rent. Telling that person they just need a better mindset feels unfair.
You're saying the anxiety is a survival mechanism.
Exactly. The panic isn't a malfunction, it's an alarm system. It's telling you, hey, the safety net is gone, keep moving.
I suppose I was romanticizing the idea of the carefree artist or the Zen master. But you're right. To rest without fear requires a foundation of security.
Or a tremendous amount of courage, ignorance maybe, but usually security.
So, for the vast majority of people, the feeling that rest is a financial risk is just accurate risk assessment.
I think so, which is why it's so hard to solve. You can't meditate your way out of economic precarity.
That's a sobering thought. I was hoping we could find a psychological trick to turn the alarm off.
I wish, but maybe acknowledging that the alarm is real is actually helpful?
How do you mean?
Well, instead of beating yourself up for being anxious, thinking, oh, I should be able to relax, you just admit, I am anxious because this matters.
It validates the fear. It stops the gaslighting. I'm not crazy for worrying about money while I'm sitting in the park.
Right. You're not crazy. You're just aware of the stakes.
That actually does make me feel a little lighter, strange as it sounds. Admitting the stakes are real makes the guilt of feeling them less heavy.
It removes the shame. You aren't bad at resting. You're just navigating a high-stakes environment.
But then, what do we do? If the risk is real, do we just never rest? We can't run until we collapse.
No, we can't. That's the paradox. We can't afford to rest, but we can't afford to burn out either. Burnout is also a financial risk.
That's the other side of the coin. If you push too hard to avoid the risk of rest, you hit the wall, and the wall costs more than the break would have.
Significantly more. If you get sick or if your work quality tanks because you're exhausted, that's a direct hit to the wallet too.
So we're managing two risks, the risk of stopping and the risk of not stopping.
Exactly. It's risk management. You're a portfolio manager and the asset is your energy.
I like that better than battery. An asset manager. It implies some agency.
A little bit. You have to decide when the risk of burnout outweighs the risk of lost income.
It's a constant calculation. I find myself doing it on Sunday evenings. If I work tonight, I save Monday morning stress, but I lose Sunday peace.
And which one wins usually?
Usually the work, because the fear of Monday is immediate. The fear of burnout feels distant until it isn't.
That's human nature. We're bad at long-term risk. We fix the immediate problem, the email, the deadline, and ignore the slow erosion of our sanity.
The slow erosion. That's a quiet disaster.
It is, and nobody pays you for sanity. That's the other thing.
True. There's no line item on the invoice for mental stability.
If you're listening to this and feeling that erosion, maybe just acknowledge it. You don't have to fix it tonight. Just notice it.
Yeah, just noticing is a start.
We've talked about the internal math, the fear of losing money, but I want to pivot to the social side of this risk, the performance of it.
The performance of busyness.
Exactly. There is a social currency in being exhausted. If I tell a client I can't meet until Tuesday because I'm taking Monday off, I feel like I'm admitting a weakness.
You're signaling that you aren't hungry. That's the word they love to use.
Hungry? God, I hate that word in a professional context.
Me too, but it's effective. It implies that if you aren't starving for the work, you don't deserve it. So resting feels like you're signaling satisfaction, and satisfied people don't get hired.
That is a fascinating distinction. Resting implies you have enough, and if you have enough, maybe you don't need the next job.
Right, it's a bizarre psychological game. You have to feign desperation to seem reliable.
I do feel like the tide is turning a little bit, though. Maybe I'm being optimistic again, but I see so much conversation now about boundaries, quiet quitting, act your wage, all that.
You think that's changing the actual workplace, or is it just changing the internet?
I think it's bleeding into real life. I've had people respect my out-of-office reply more in the last year than ever before. People seem tired of the grind.
I'm going to push you on that, Mark, because I think that's surface level.
How so?
I think we say we respect boundaries because it's the trendy thing to say, but look at who actually gets rewarded. Look at who gets the promotion.
You think the rewards haven't caught up to the rhetoric?
Not at all. Who does the boss trust more, the person who disconnects at 5 p.m. on the dot, or the person who replies at 9 p.m. with the fix?
The person who replies at 9 p.m. every time.
Exactly. We clap for the person with boundaries, but we pay the person with zero boundaries.
That's the uncomfortable truth, isn't it? I wanted to believe the culture shifted, but you're right. The financial incentive is still heavily weighted toward overwork.
It is. So when you choose to rest, you are choosing to step out of that reward loop. You are choosing not to be the hero who saves the project late at night.
And being the hero pays better.
Usually, or at least it offers more job security.
So resting isn't just a loss of immediate income. It's a loss of political capital?
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Political capital. You spend that capital every time you say no.
And we only have so much to spend.
Right. If you say no too many times, you become difficult. You become not a team player.
It makes me think about guilt again. The guilt isn't just about money. It's about letting people down or appearing like you don't care.
Which brings us back to identity. I am a hard worker. If I rest, am I still that person?
We cling to that label, hard worker. It's the ultimate shield. As long as I'm a hard worker, nobody can criticize me.
That shield is heavy. Carrying it around 24/7, that's the work we don't get paid for.
Maintaining the persona.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
So if we strip that away, if we stop performing, is it possible to be successful without the hustle signal?
I think it is. But it takes longer, and it requires being okay with being misunderstood for a while.
Misunderstood. That's scary.
It is. It's a risk. Everything keeps coming back to risk.
You mentioned risk again. It feels like we're circling the idea that the only way to remove the risk is to remove the human element.
What do you mean?
You know, the obsession with automation, passive income, the dream that if you build a system, you can finally rest because the machine is earning for you.
The 4-hour workweek dream.
Exactly. It's pitched as the ultimate solution to this problem. If the income is decoupled from your time, then rest isn't a financial risk anymore. It's just free time.
I have to say, Mark, I'm really skeptical of that narrative.
Really? It sounds perfect on paper. Why are you skeptical?
Because I know people who have that setup. They have the passive streams, they have the investments, and they are more anxious than anyone I know.
That's counterintuitive. They have the safety net. Why the anxiety?
Because now they aren't worried about working. They're worried about the machine breaking. They're checking the dashboard every 10 minutes.
Ah, so the work just changes shape. It goes from labor to monitoring.
Yes, and monitoring is continuous. You can never really turn your back on it, so the rest is still compromised. The financial risk feels even more volatile because it's out of your hands.
I suppose I was hoping there was a technical fix to a psychological problem.
I don't think there is. I think the problem is that we've lost the ability to do anything without a financial incentive attached to it.
That brings up the monetization of hobbies. That's a huge part of this risk feeling.
Oh, it's the worst. You can't just bake bread anymore. You have to start a micro bakery.
Or at least a YouTube channel about baking bread.
Right. If you aren't monetizing your joy, you're wasting potential. That's the phrase that kills me. Wasted potential.
I feel that constantly. If I watch a movie, I'm thinking I should write a review. If I go for a hike, I'm thinking this would make a great photo for the brand.
It's tragic, really. We've cannibalized our own lives. We've turned our private moments into inventory.
Inventory. That's a cold word from memories.
It is. But if your life is inventory, then resting, just doing nothing, is like leaving the shelves empty. It feels like bad business management.
So to truly rest, to really step away from the financial risk, we have to be willing to be bad business owners of our lives.
I think so. You have to be willing to leave value on the table. You have to experience something beautiful and not sell it.
That is incredibly hard. It feels almost irresponsible.
It does. It feels like throwing money away. But the alternative is that you never actually live. You just curate.
I think I'm guilty of curating more than living lately.
We all are. It's what the economy demands.
It's scary to think that reclaiming our rest might mean being less successful on paper.
It might, but are you successful if you're too stressed to enjoy the success?
Touché. That's the question, isn't it?
It's the only question that matters.
I want to dig into that fear of wasted potential a bit more, because it starts young, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's burned in early.
It starts with grades, doesn't it? That's the first time you realize that performance equals reward.
And that lack of performance brings punishment, or at least disappointment, which is almost worse.
We condition kids to believe that downtime is dangerous. If you aren't doing piano, soccer, and coding, you're falling behind.
Falling behind. That's the precursor to losing money. It's the same fear, just different stakes.
I have to play devil's advocate here, though. Isn't that pressure necessary? If we didn't push kids to use their time wisely, wouldn't they struggle to pay rent later?
I don't think so, Mark. I think we're confusing discipline with anxiety.
But the world is competitive. If I don't teach a kid to hustle, am I setting them up to fail financially? That feels like a risk I can't take as a parent.
See, that's the fear talking. You think the only way to financial safety is constant motion, but look at the adults who grew up that way.
You mean us?
Yeah, us. We did everything right. We filled every hour. And now we're sitting here terrified to take a weekend off. Is that the success we wanted?
That hits home.
We built the work ethic, but we broke the ability to shut it off.
Exactly. We treated childhood like a startup, and now we treat our lives like a failing business if the graph isn't going up.
So the financial risk we feel now is basically just a grown-up version of getting a C on a report card.
It feels exactly the same. The stomach drop, the panic. I didn't do enough.
And just like in school, we think the teacher is watching, but there is no teacher.
No, there's just the bank account, and the bank account doesn't care if you suffered for the money or not.
That's a crucial distinction. The bank account doesn't care about the suffering. We add the suffering because we think it adds value.
We think it earns us points, but there are no points.
That implies that hard work and profitable work aren't always synonyms.
They rarely are. Some of the most profitable people I know work very little, and the hardest workers I know are broke.
That is an incredibly painful reality to accept. It breaks the contract we signed in our heads.
The contract that says, if I hurt, I get paid.
Right, and if I rest, I don't get paid. But if the correlation is broken, then the risk calculation is wrong.
It's completely broken. Resting might actually make you more profitable because you aren't making decisions out of exhaustion.
Interesting. So resting isn't the risk, the exhaustion is the risk.
I really believe that. When you're tired, you make expensive mistakes.
You say yes to the wrong client, you miss the fine print.
Exactly. The hustle can actually cost you more money than the break would have.
That is the reframe I needed. It's not poetic, it's practical.
It has to be practical, otherwise we won't listen. We're too pragmatic for poetry.
We really are. We need the spreadsheet to tell us it's okay to sit down.
It's one thing to understand this intellectually. The exhaustion tax, let's call it.
The exhaustion tax. I like that.
But implementing it, that feels like jumping off a moving train. Even if I know the train is heading for a cliff, jumping feels more dangerous in the moment.
It does, because everyone else is still on the train screaming about how fast they're going. And there is safety in the herd.
That's a huge part of the financial anxiety, isn't it? The fear of isolation. If I start prioritizing rest, do I lose my network? Do I lose my tribe?
You might. You might lose the commiseration club. You know, the people who bond over how tired they are.
That is a very real bond. We're in the trenches together.
Exactly. If you climb out of the trench and sit in the sun, they might resent you. You become a mirror they don't want to look into.
I'd like to think my friends would be happy for me. If I said, hey, I'm working less and making the same amount, I'd hope they'd celebrate that.
I'm going to be the cynic again, Mark. I think that's naive.
Naive? Really? You don't think people want to see their peers succeed?
I think they want to see you succeed within the rules. If you succeed by breaking the rules, by not suffering, it makes them question their own suffering, and that is painful.
That is dark. But I can feel the truth in it. I've felt that annoyance myself when I see someone effortlessly relaxed. I think, must be nice.
Must be nice. That's the phrase. It's dismissive. It protects your ego. It frames their rest as luck, not a choice.
Because if it's a choice, then I'm choosing to be miserable.
Right. And admitting that is a heavy lift. So the risk of rest isn't just financial, it's social. You risk becoming an outsider.
And in many industries, being an outsider is a financial death sentence. You need the referrals. You need the buzz.
Exactly. If you aren't at the late-night drinks, if you aren't in the panic threads on Slack, you fade away.
So to rest without fear, you have to be willing to build a new network, one that values sustainability.
You do, and that takes time. That's the transition period where it feels really scary. You've let go of the old rope, but you haven't grabbed the new one yet.
That gap, that's where the panic lives.
That's where the bank account drains a little. That's where the phone stops ringing.
You're not making this sound very appealing, Elena.
I'm trying to be honest. If we tell people, just rest, everything will be fine, we're lying. It might get rocky for a minute.
But the destination, the other side of that gap, that's where the real sustainability is.
I think so. Once you find the people who respect your time, you never want to go back to the people who exploited it.
It's a quality over quantity thing. Fewer clients, but better ones.
Fewer friends, but real ones.
It sounds like we're talking about growing up.
Maybe we are. Maybe hustle culture is just a form of prolonged adolescence, running around trying to impress everyone.
And resting is the adult realization that you don't need to impress them. You just need to survive and be decent.
And pay your bills. Let's not forget that.
Right. The bills remain, but maybe we don't need to pay them with our sanity.
That's the goal, to separate the money from the mania.
Separating the money from the mania. That should be on a t-shirt.
See? You're trying to monetize it again.
Caught me. I can't help it. It's hardwired.
It is. It takes practice. You have to catch yourself every time. Am I resting or am I plotting?
Am I plotting? That's a good check-in, because usually I'm plotting.
Try just sitting. No plotting, just breathing.
It feels irresponsible.
Do it anyway.
We've been circling this for a while now, and I have to be honest, I still feel that twitch, that urge to check my email right now, just to make sure the world hasn't ended.
It doesn't vanish overnight. It's a muscle memory. You've been flexing the anxiety muscle for years. It's going to twitch.
I guess I wanted a cure. I wanted you to tell me, do X, Y, and Z, and the financial fear disappears.
I can't promise that, Mark. That would be selling you something. We're trying to stop selling.
That's fair. But it leaves us in a tricky spot. If the fear is rational because the economy is precarious and we can't cure it, do we just suffer?
No, we don't suffer. We accept the tension. I think that's the difference.
Accepting the tension.
Yeah, you sit on the couch, you feel the panic that you're losing money, and you say, I see you. I'm resting anyway.
That feels like a battle.
It is a battle, at first. But eventually the panic gets bored. It realizes you aren't reacting, so it quiets down.
It's like screen training a toddler.
Exactly. You don't scream at it, you just let it cry it out until it sleeps.
I think I can do that. I can acknowledge the risk without letting it drive the car.
That's it. The risk is in the passenger seat. It can look at the map, but it can't touch the steering wheel.
I like that. Because if we let the financial fear drive, we never pull over. We just drive until we run out of gas.
And we miss the scenery. We miss the whole point of the trip.
In conclusion, rest is a financial risk. We aren't denying that.
No, it is a risk. You might miss an opportunity. You might make slightly less money this month than if you worked 80 hours.
But it's a calculated risk. It's an investment in longevity.
Yes, you're trading short-term income for long-term survival. That's a sound financial strategy, actually.
Put that way, it sounds responsible. It sounds like something a good CEO would do.
A good CEO doesn't run the machinery at 100% capacity until it explodes. They do maintenance.
I'm going to tell myself that. I'm not lazy. I'm doing maintenance.
Whatever gets you to close the laptop, Mark.
Before we go, for the person listening who is currently staring at the ceiling, feeling guilty about doing nothing, what do we tell them?
I'd say try to trust your future self a little more.
Trust them how?
Trust that if you rest tonight, you will be capable of handling whatever happens tomorrow. You don't need to solve tomorrow tonight.
That's a big ask.
It is, but the alternative is being tired tomorrow, and tired people solve nothing.
Yeah, you're right. We have to bank on our own resilience.
Exactly. You are your best asset. Protect the asset.
Protect the asset. I think that's where we leave it.
It feels like a good place to stop.
Elena, thank you for sitting with me in this discomfort. It helped.
Thanks for having me. It helped me too. It's always a good reminder.
And to everyone listening, take a risk tonight. Just a small one. Do nothing for a while.
The emails will be there in the morning.
Unfortunately, they will. Good night, everyone.
Good night.